I'm
Hello. I'm okay, you go
oh,
first.
let's start over. Okay, I'm Anne,
I'm Mel.
and this is Coffee, Tea, and Consciousness with a
Nice
whole lot
job.
of conversation.
With a whole lot of conversation. So just so y'all know, we finished one and now we're gonna record this next one right away because we weren't done.
Yep.
See, we literally could talk for 17 hours and keep on going.
Yeah,
But
maybe we
Annie,
should do the Guinness Book.
that's right, I bet we could do it. Annie touched on something in the last episode that we're gonna explore a little bit on here. So Annie, you take it away.
Okay, so I think it's important for us to kind of, when we went through our awakening, our husbands were
Did
not
not.
going, yeah, not even a little. Nope, 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 nope.
Not the
And so
same, not the same.
no. So at some point, because I know that my husband wants to do a podcast with us because he thinks that would be super fun.
My husband doesn't know.
Like we can get their perspective, but I think it's like I think it's a good conversation for us to have and what we kind of experienced or things that came up. I mean, because it is a struggle. Like
Oh,
I
so
know
hard.
I will say stuff and then Tony will be like, "I feel like I'm being judged and, I brought it all on myself." Like, he gets very defensive.
Right.
His dander is
Yeah. Who is it? Abraham Hicks or Esther Hicks would say, "Your goat is gettable."
yeah,
Your
yeah.
goat's out there
Mhm.
roaming around, and it is definitely gettable.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So it is when we went through our awakening, Annie and I went through it almost at the exact same time. I would say,
Yeah.
within a day or 2 of it hitting me, it hit you at we both got
Yeah.
nailed on the same time. And at the time, I was
Which
seeing a
makes sense.
therapist, which makes sense now, but at the time, I was seeing a therapist, and he was so logical that Jimmy
Mm,
would come to the therapy sessions with me because I was definitely insane. I mean,
mhm.
in terms of human, I was crazy. I could see stuff. I was right? Like, it was like everything was lit up. I mean, the
Yeah.
trees were on they were, like, in
Yep.
collide like, it was so bananas when that
Mhm.
happened for me.
It was like a veil
Whoa.
lifted. Yeah.
Veil lifted. Like, all of a sudden, I remember I would at that time, the kids were little, and I would meditate 3 times a day,
Mhm.
and then and I would feel so peaceful. Oh my
Mhm.
god. And then then Jimmy would come home from work, and he would start
Mm,
talking to me
mhm.
about reality and about all of the
Mhm.
real life, all
Yeah.
physical real
You're
life,
just
and
like,
I'm like, "Do
"Shut
you
the
even know
fuck
this
up."
isn't even real life? You're fucking me all up," and then I'd be start screaming. I was like, I was like Dr. Jekyll and Miss Hyde. It was so
Mhm.
hard, and so then I
To not get
would
caught up in the
to
bullshit.
not get caught up and how do you even talk to him? How did I talk to
Mhm.
Jimmy? Or I didn't do it right. We should not go off of what I did because I did it all wrong, but how to have a conversation with someone when you
Mhm.
now know that everything is energy and
Yeah.
all of this shit is just energy that you can look at, like with
Mhm.
these eyeballs. These eyeballs are meant to see physical, energies manifestation in the physical world. But I now
Yeah.
know that that isn't because you're talking to me about a problem at work, and I want to say is, so when have you noticed this before? What do you think's beneath this? Why do
Yes,
you feel like
yes.
no one ever wants to say hi to you? Right? Like, I couldn't he hated me. We couldn't even yeah, we having a conversation with him,
Mhm.
I would scream. He was
Mhm.
miserable. It was really hard.
It was really hard. Yeah. Tony always felt judged, and I always thought it was about the stuff you talk about, and I'm like, "Hey, hey, 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 hey,
Hey,
hey.
we should not be saying that shit. Oh
Let's
my
get on
god.
the
Blah,
positive.
blah, blah.
Let's get on the positive train because I don't really wanna see that shit come into our life." And, yeah, it was I feel bad for him. I feel bad for both of them. I do. I feel bad for them, and he's a pretty good sport, but I remember so we were listening to Hay House, but there's Peggy Ramito
Oh, yeah.
that is on there, and so I called in to one of her shows and I got on, and I remember asking, "Are my husband and I like, is our relationship gonna be okay? Like, are we gonna stay together?" And she goes, "Your relationship is strong, you're fine. Like, you don't need to worry about it." But
Yeah.
at the time, you're like, "Is this even gonna be able to last?" Like, I just
Yeah.
don't know.
Because when you can't do you remember the time that you felt it in your heart to go buy tires for that person and Tony about had a
Yes.
I thought he was gonna
Okay.
divorce
Yeah.
you right then and there?
Yes. So this girl, I don't even know how it happened, but I saw a message from her or something, and I was like, "I'm gonna go and clean out the the kids' all their crap and our clothes and stuff." And I mean, I had our hallway lined with boxes of shit for her. We filled up her car. And then she said something about her tires. And I don't know, I felt it in my heart like I should go get her tires, and I didn't buy her brand new tires. They were used tires, but they still had a lot of tread on them,
Yeah.
and I charged it too, which was stupid. But it wasn't stupid. But anyway, like, looking back, you're just like but it was funny because when we were on our way there to the tire place, he calls, and I'm like, "I'm not answering it because I didn't wanna have to tell him, but I also didn't wanna have to, like, feel like I needed his permission to do it."
Mm.
And, so we went and got the tires, and then I told him at some point, and he was pissed. Well, and he said, "Well, it was really because I would have liked to have met her and been there to do it or whatever." But he was mad. Yeah,
He
yeah,
was mad.
yeah,
So I've
yeah.
always felt and at the time, I didn't now I have a little bit more perspective, but at the time, I've always felt like there's something in me that wants to be said. And I'm on Facebook and somebody's on there that I don't know. It was a guy. Well, he was a guy on Facebook. Turns out he was a guy in reality too. And I don't even know what he said. And
Mhm.
I sent a message. I'm like, "Would you like me to come over and talk to you?" Like, who the fuck am I? Like in real life, like in real life.
I'm gonna
I
counsel
really
you.
I really felt like there was something I needed to say to this guy. I don't
Mhm,
know him. I don't and I said to Jimmy, I'm like, "You're gonna drop me off over there." He's like, "The fuck I am. I'm not dropping you off at some stranger guy's house because you think
mhm,
you need to talk to him? Are you crazy?" No, I probably am crazy.
mhm.
I bet I am. Certifiably, you could probably have me committed, but then no one would be here to
Right.
watch our children. So you don't wanna
Mhm,
do that. But also, you're gonna drop me off at
mhm,
this guy's house. And he was like, "That is not." I was like, "You're gonna do it or I'm gonna go there myself." And so,
mhm,
we used to go grocery shopping on Thursday nights. And so I said, "You go drop me off." And he goes, "I'm gonna meet him." "Okay, that's fine." And so,
mhm,
he meets him, he leaves me, he goes grocery shopping, he comes back, and I'm sitting at this stranger's house. It's him and his wife. I think he was married.
mhm,
He had a partner or he's married.
mhm,
And I'm, like, thinking, "Why the fuck am I here? I don't know what to say
mhm,
to this guy," and he's going on and on and on, and I was there probably about an hour and a half, and all of a sudden, there was something he said. It was like I don't even know what I said. I spouted off, and now I would
mhm,
know that was spirit coming through.
mhm,
And his person, his female companion, if it was wife or not, but she looked at me and her eyes lit up and she started to nod. Whatever it was
mhm,
that needed to be said. And then I was
mhm,
like, obviously, I'm done now. Jimmy, I bet you, is going to be here. And as I got up and walked to the front door, here's Jimmy pulling up, coming to get me.
mhm,
But it was like you couldn't describe
mhm.
in a way that sounded reasonable or
Yeah.
normal or anything. What these when I would get these and that was not an ADHD impulse. I mean, maybe, but I
Mhm.
don't think that was what that was. I like, when it came through, I was so shocked, and I mean, I was
Yeah.
doing the thing, I was probably yelling, like, I don't know, I probably
Mhm.
was yelling, whatever it was I was saying, and she's nodding, and
Mhm.
her eyes are all big, and I was like, "And now I have to go." That was all that needed to be said. Somehow or another,
Right.
spirit needed you to hear that, and I really do believe that that was true, even though I look
There.
at it like that was crazy. That
Mhm.
was bonkers.
Well, you were going to therapy, but I was as well. And I remember going to a group therapy session, and they were talking about this lady was there and she was talking about I think it was, like, people that, like, I don't know if it was homeless people, something, but I was in that beginning phase where it's like, "And you can manifest anything you want, and we can all have this amazing life." And we now know that not everyone's gonna have whatever.
That type of
And
amazing.
she and,
What we
uh,
would
and
consider
I
amazing.
said
What I would
yeah, and
consider
I'm
amazing.
like, "Oh." And yeah, and maybe we should look at it differently or whatever I said. And man, did the lady get pissed as shit. And I was like, I never went back. I'm like, yep, this is too much for them.
This is too um, I became I became extraordinarily self-centered.
Mm-hmm.
My family really took a hit because all of a
Hmm.
sudden I was like, "Well, you manifest you." Right? Like, you can do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Like,
You do you.
you do you, boo.
Hmm.
And I'm over here manifesting me, and I remember thinking for years, I thought, "Oh, Jimmy, you're getting in my way. Like, he's the one going to work. Like, look, oh my god, he's the one paying all the bills." And I was like, "Oh, you're just getting in the way. Like, if you weren't
Hmm.
here, we would
Hmm.
definitely be different." And
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're slowing our
you're
progress, baby.
slowing our roll. Like, talk about right timing.
Hmm.
But I will say I really did I became extremely selfish during that time, and I started up an organization to encourage women to be selfish.
But I think you were supposed to because
I
that's
d
how then you met
Yes,
Cindy
yes, for sure, there was a
and you
lot
met
of
Jess.
Yep,
Yeah.
there was a lot of purpose behind it, but it really was a and I still
It took
believe that you need
over.
to think of yourself, but I do think
Mhm,
that when we're first going through it and I have a friend who called me recently to talk about our mutual friend, and
mhm,
she's high, and I remember being her high. Like, I
mhm.
remember she is like, "We are gonna support him, and we're gonna do this and this and this," and I'm like, "Yeah, that ain't my job now." Right? Like, now I'm like,
Right.
I'm here to support him, but not in the way that she was talking, but she was
Mhm,
so high on spirit that there was no way. Like, I think I even
mhm.
said to her, "Listen, I remember being as high as you are right now." Like,
Right.
literally thinking and also manifesting like no tomorrow, right? Like
Mhm.
I remember how
Yeah.
incredibly powerful I felt. And now
I
I
think it
just
was
feel
to kind of
humble. Now I
well,
just
I
feel
think
humble. It's not the
I think
same.
but I think that, because a lot of things came in and a lot of things changed, but I think also to a point, like, it almost they have to I don't the wording isn't right, but I think that to keep you so that you're gonna keep on this train,
Yeah.
a lot of things are easy to manifest at that point
Yeah.
because they want you to then want to keep growing.
Yeah.
Is my thought, and so, cause that was the same thing, like, you started a group, I fucking started walking Lake Michigan every goddamn day, and so I would spend, like, 8 hours at the beach just combing it, but
Yeah.
and listening to Abraham, cause I remember
Mhm. Yeah,
having
Esther Hicks, yeah,
those
for sure.
yep, I'd put on the headphones and start a
Yep.
walking.
Lord, give me grace, right? Like, it was like, listen, we could and
Yeah.
it was super fun, but it was really hard, and I can see too, right? It was so hard on Jimmy. It was really hard
Mhm,
on the kids
mhm.
to have a mom who was it's not that I was totally checked out, but I really was like,
Well, you were totally busy with doing the other stuff and
I felt so I didn't want anyone to hold me down, and I did feel
mhm,
like there was a time that everyone was just like a fucking chain around around my ankle. I didn't know how to
mhm,
manage both, right? Like, I didn't know how to
mhm,
manage feeling because for me, it was like, I know so this is and these are just a silly example. I wanted to vacuum out our van, and I didn't have any
mhm.
quarters. I was looking for quarters. I didn't have any quarters. And,
Yeah.
I had a hankering to vacuum out our van, and then I was like, "Well, it's fine. I'll just run the vacuum cord, right, do it at home." I wanted to take it somewhere, but and
Mhm,
was I vacuumed as I was vacuuming out the van, in the very back where this big Ford custom van, in the very back in a cup holder, it was overflowing with quarters.
yeah,
And for me, it was like something
confirmation.
is doing that. I would never have left I've got all these kids, they would lose all those quarters. I would never leave quarters back there. Maybe 1, maybe 2,
Right,
but I am not leaving a cup hold of a cu I'm not I would never have done that. I wouldn't they
yeah,
would have eaten them. Like, I don't know what the hell would have happened with those damn quarters, but no,
mhm,
I wouldn't have done it. So for me, it was like almost proving that there was more than meets the eye. Like,
yeah,
it was manifesting things, but what it was showing me is, "You think you know what the fuck is going on down here? you got nothing, my
Mhm.
friend. And it did make me feel like if I can do this, I could do anything. If I could
Mhm.
do this, I could do I mean, anything. And then, well, could you do anything when you're a mom of 5 kids? It's really hard to do a lot of things when you're the mom of 5 kids or when you're
Mhm.
the wife of an engineer who only thinks with his analytical brain. Like,
Yeah.
it is hard to talk about, not hard to share those experiences, but it was hard to talk about how can we balance looking at the world
Mhm.
where I could take in his language, which is, physical
What you
touching
see with
reality.
your eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Get to be
problems
Mhm.
that are real. Problems are real, but
But they
but
could be a
not
real
why you
downer.
have them. Look at like why you
Yeah.
have those problems is not the real, like it's not, how do you say that, Annie? Like,
Yeah.
problems are real, but why you have the problem or why you're having the I wouldn't even say problem now, but why you're having the experience is for a purpose for you
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
move forward,
Go through,
to
grow.
go through, to experience, to feel it,
Mhm.
to recognize what you don't want, recognize, and I don't mean like physical stuff, but like what do you want in your life? Like what kind of life do you want to live?
Mhm. Well, and I felt pretty great about my life. I was doing all the things, like, I always wanted to be home with my kids, and, like, that was my big thing, and getting to have that was great. I mean, I
Yeah.
but you were, like, more like, "And I want this, and I want my life to look like," whereas I had a harder time pinpointing anything I really wanted.
Yeah.
Like, I had a harder time making a plan, I guess, is what it was. Because my life wasn't I don't know, I guess maybe kept myself small, I don't know, but it was different. It was different and it was hard, and my husband's an engineer too, and so his thinking is very reality, and he also grew up Catholic, so he did all the things. He went to Catholic school. His mom was a teacher at the Catholic school. So he had all of that downloading,
Yeah.
those beliefs that came with that. And I mean, I'd have to ask, but I know it was a hard time. And I think he
It
probably enjoyed it when he would because there were points where I'd kind of get out of it and then be like, and I'm totally fucking off course. I need to start getting back in like meditating and doing all those things.
yeah.
He was probably like, "Fuck."
Thank God, a reprieve. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? Like, "Oh god, thank God she's not been meditating much. We should be having a reprieve here for a minute. Now we can go back to
Mhm,
normal life."
mhm. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you start talking about meditation, that's like, "Oh, good lord, here we go again. Oh my god, now what
Uh-huh.
insanity is she gonna bring into our lives?" And
Yeah.
because I loved a raging river, my shit was a
Mhm.
roller coaster. My life,
Yeah.
it was a roller co it was one tornado or one tidal wave after another tidal wave. I feel like I was always crashing into some rocks.
Mhm.
I wouldn't even finish with one experience, and I got another one slamming me against the wall, and they weren't all, quote, unquote, "bad," but they were big,
Mhm.
I would say, right? Like, they were big, big
Yeah.
experiences, big, huge, life-changing kind of experiences that
Mhm.
Jimmy just wanted our lives to be,
He
slower,
wanted a
and
lazy river,
he wanted a lazy
not
river,
a
and I
rapid.
remember he did not want to rapids. We went to Dr. Townsend and, I couldn't think a thing without, I just couldn't. I mean, I remember thinking about, we didn't do it, but I was thinking about going on a cruise, and all of a sudden
Mhm.
I got this thing in the mail that says, "Hey, you've been gifted a cruise." I was like, "What the fuck are you
Mhm.
talking about?" He came home from work and I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god, look at this." And he's like, "That is a scam. Mel, that can't be re," and we didn't do it. I didn't even do it because he was so
Mhm.
mad that he thought I don't know if it was real or not. I mean, whatever.
Mhm.
I'm like, "But I just thought it the other day, like, and here it is. Like, I'm sure it's real." I believed everything. I was so
That's like
naive.
Publishers Clearinghouse.
Like, public, yeah,
Mhm.
like, I was so naive to everything that I think, and if I would get
Mhm.
anything, like, that would come in, I assumed it was spirit literally
That's
handing me a checkbook.
yeah. They're like,
I
"No,
just
you were
thought I
just
wanted to
thinking
get an
about it."
orange bike, and all of a sudden, I
Mhm.
see an ad for this orange bike, so of course I'm gonna buy it. Like, he was like, "What is
Right.
happening? Like, what? Are you
You're
crazy?
like,
You can't
"Yeah."
just do this. No, 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 it's fine. Spirit's got my back, man. Spirit's got my back." Yeah, they got right up against the fucking wall. called Debt Now. Like, it was so big, and I remember I wanted to rebuild a relationship with my mom, and sometimes spirit will do it to you in a way that you don't see coming. Actually, most of the time, I would say spirit's gonna
Mhm.
do it to you in a way that you don't see coming. And in this desire that I had to build the relationship with my mom, our son, our oldest boy, was in one shitstorm after another. And so finally, he's like, "I'm moving out. I'm moving to Grandma Kay's." And at that point, I was like, "Good fucking riddance. Go take her all your
Mhm.
bullshit." Right? Like, I was like, "Yeah, you go get
Yeah.
Grandma Kay." And I remember sitting on the porch swing when all of a sudden she's like, "Hey, can we talk about Alex?" And
Mhm.
she came around and we did. We started, I wouldn't say that it was all the way repaired, but for a while I was like, "Thanks for this. Like, thank you for
Mhm.
bridging this gap that I didn't know how to bridge." And I wish it weren't in a way that had to have, our son move out for a
Yeah.
while and whatever. But I do, so I would say to Jimmy, "See, look at Spirit's doing its work." Right? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
Jim would
yeah.
be like, "Oh, for
Yeah.
fuck's sakes, our kid is a
Yep.
nightmare and he's living with your mom. This is not how spirit's doing its work." I'd be like, "Yes, it is.
Mhm.
You just don't see the bigger picture."
Well, and my thing was always like if anyone tried to go negative, "No, no, 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 no.
No, no,
Nope,
we're
don't
not going
say it like
negative.
that. Don't say it like that.
That's
No,
right.
no,
No, no,
no."
no, no, no. Yeah. Why you
At
gotta
the
be so
time, though
negative?
yeah, at the time, though, I also got into numerology. That was because it went to numerology, and then I started getting the energy readings, like the
Mhm.
whatever that website.
Yeah, that
And
downloads.
listening to that stuff, and that was mind-blowing, 'cause I didn't know any of this shit. I mean,
Fuck no.
I didn't have even a belief, like, I knew that there was more to life than what y like, I didn't like, the whole death thing and your spirit and all this, like, I'm like, "There's no way that that could just go away." Like,
Right.
I knew that, but I wasn't born in a religious family, so I didn't go to church. I thought it was cool if I went with my best friend at and when I was a kid to their church, but as I got older, it's no, but
But as someone who
anyway.
did, I was raised in the church. Like,
Yeah,
my mom still's quoting Bible scriptures. Like, it
right,
is for me, it was heaven or hell, and obviously
yeah,
I'm going to hell. Like, if the Christian way, the Pentecostal Christian way is correct, I am
right,
definitely going to hell. And I
right.
remember being a little kid. I was like 8, and our church used to make us
You're
watch
like,
these
"I'm
6
already on my way, so let's just keep
this
going."
church was, like, making us watch these 666 numbers, and I'm like, "I'm definitely taking the 666. My shit ain't gonna be beheaded like that. Fuck that. Like, no way." And I remember thinking, "If I'm going to hell, I'm going all in, motherfuckers." And I mean, I'm 8. I mean, I'm in the church
Mhm,
bathroom. I was like, the number 8 just is the one that so I'm all in. And so for me, when all of a sudden I thought there was a higher something,
mhm,
I couldn't say God for a really long time. I had to say the universe. I
yeah,
couldn't because it was like God was too close to what I was raised with, and that
mhm,
motherfucker is pissed. At least the one I was
yeah,
raised with. There was like they'd talk about grace, but listen, that shit was not shown. And so for
mhm,
me, it was the opposite. And so all of a sudden I'm seeing the universe or spirit as a something that brought joy to my life, not you're
right,
doing everything wrong or
mhm,
brought, "Hey, because you got so many lives available, if you don't get it right this time," like, it took all the pressure off, and then I was like, "Oh,
mhm,
well," and again, we're not dead, we don't know, but if that's true,
yeah,
boy, does that ever ease it up for me. Maybe I don't need to go so hard into yucca, you know what I mean? Or
mhm,
into "Fuck it all, let's burn it to the ground and everyone in it."
yeah,
But Jimmy wasn't raised with really any religious beliefs,
mm,
and I don't know that I don't know what actually, I have no idea what he believed. I just know that I know the way I was going through our awakening, I was
mhm,
crazy pants. And I really just I thought because spirit had my back, it meant
mhm,
I could do anything I wanted and
right,
have everything I want right the fuck now. And
mhm,
because I would think something and it would come, I would assume that's for me. So let's just do that. Let's go to this random guy's house. Let's go fucking
yeah,
I wanted an orange bike. Here we go. Let's go buy the orange bike. Let's go whatever. Didn't matter. Like,
yeah.
I thought everything was, like, not just for
Well,
me,
I
but for
remember
me to, like,
finally
have right now.
I remember finally having the courage because when Tony and I got married, I went through all the steps to become Catholic. And I remember the priest saying when we were having our meeting or whatever with him, he said, "Well, it's great that you had the calling." And I'm like, "I didn't have a calling. Like, I'm doing this because I feel like I'm obligated." And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Forget I said anything," because he
Yeah.
was getting all
Yeah.
prickly. But I remember finally having the courage to tell Tony's mom that I did all of that for all the wrong reasons because I didn't do it for myself. I did
Yeah.
it for them so that they would accept me because I
Right.
had a child before and I wanted to get their good graces or whatever it was, but not I did that all wrong. Like if I had had that awakening, I wouldn't have done it.
Have
You
done
know, I
that.
mean, so
Yeah.
yeah,
And
but
it is what it is
yeah.
now, but I will say, like, through the years and,
Mhm.
Jimmy and Tony only because 'cause we're all friends, but some of the craziest stuff, I say it now, but it still
Mhm.
took me like, for all the stuff I did say and for all the years he thought I was bananas, and
Mhm.
Dr. Townsend would just say, "Just, just sort of be easy with her right now. She's kinda really, she's
She's
in the
figuring
heavy
it
hit
out.
she's in the heavy hitting
Yeah.
process of it, and that's alright, just sort of be easy with her right
Mhm.
now," and he was, thankfully, he was pretty easy mostly with me. Well, he was easy, but it's hard. We've done readings for people too who are, spirit will have said, "Hey, you've got this gift here that that's," they don't ever say should use or need to use, but it is like, "Hey, yo, 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 there's a thing here," and that person's like, "Yeah, my husband thinks I'm nuts." They're not doing that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it is tricky
There's an
to
extent, yeah, when you're
talk to
the
people
spouse
about
isn't going
this.
through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now when I question it, because when I don't have, readings to do, I'll do whatever, try to read energy of whatever,
Yeah.
and then I'll check online and see if it was correct, and,
Mhm.
I am correct more often than not, and Jimmy now will say to me, "Hey, don't question yourself so hard, or don't be so down on yourself if you misread something or you couldn't
Mhm.
find the exact word for it. There's a lot of stuff that you know that you wouldn't know." And that's true,
Yeah.
but but it's still hard when we're trying to have an experience with one of our kids or with us, and I'll say, "Hey, look at what just happened energetically. Like,
Mhm.
let's not look at it physically. Let's look at what happened energetically. What do you think is different right now than it was before? Or what do you think energetically is bringing that up?" I can say that stuff to him now. It isn't that he always wants to engage in that, or he'll say, "Well, I don't even know the words to say." Like,
Mhm. Mhm.
"I don't know what you want me to say with that." Well, I just want you to know
I
that,
think Tony sometimes thinks I'm judging, which
yeah,
I
some
might be.
yeah, maybe, I mean, and I just think, like, I just want him to look at it from a different perspective instead of
Yeah.
always from the perspective of reality, what you can see, like in this world first, and that
Mhm.
he doesn't always like that, right? Like, sometimes
Well,
he's
yeah.
tolerant, but he doesn't always appreciate that even now, right? Like, that's now.
Mhm.
That's, like, right now.
Well, in this last year, it's been a lot of working on Tony and I's relationship, and it could get brutal. Like, we live in the same house, and we would not talk to each other for like a fucking 2 weeks or something
Yeah.
because I kept getting the message, like, let him be the one that comes because he's very tight-lipped about his feelings and sharing. Like, he'll sit there and I know some of it, but I'm like, "There's no fucking way that you can sit there for hours with not one goddamn thought rolling through your head." There isn't, because my head has always got some kind of something happening. Like, there's no fucking way that you're, like, basically brain dead. There's no way.
They put, like, one
There's
of
no
those
way that you
when you put them on your
Yeah.
head, you'd be like, "No, there's no
There's
electricity going
no
through here."
fucking yeah, there's nothing happening, and, like, so I would wait for him to finally say the thing because I would get to a point where it would be so awkward, like, when we would have these whatever the fuck they were, that I would do the apologizing or whatever to smooth the waters, but this time, like, in this last year and a half or whatever, I was making him be the one to come to me, and kinda, I think And the way it opened his eyes, like, we went down to the beach, and it's a 5-hour drive, and I'm riding with him. It's just him and I, and the kids are in their own car, and I'm not kidding, not one goddamn word was spoken. It was I'm sitting there, and I am so fucking pissed, like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, we could be having some great conversations. Nope, we're getting silence. And I remember we finally get into Atlanta, and I'm like, "For fuck's sakes, like, this is fucking stupid. We've been in this car and nothing has been spoken. Like, what the fuck?" Like, I was so upset about that, but he's gotten much better, but there's times I think when it makes him uncomfortable because then he has to feel stuff and then he'll blame it on his family like, "Well, we don't talk about anything real. Like we just skate the surface." And it's like, "Well, motherfucker, I wanna dig a little deeper. Like, that isn't what I wanna do." And he'll be like, "Well, it's my family. That's how they did it." And I'm like, "Do you think my fucking family was, like, talk of the town, like, talking about shit? Fuck no. Like, how about if we break that goddamn cycle? Hello?"
Right.
Like, I talk so much here that I mean, there are times when I'm like, "I probably shouldn't have said that," but I think sometimes I do it to provoke a response
Yeah.
in some things.
Yeah.
But we had so many times of, like, we would then and the thing is that I would get blamed for being the bitch. Like, our son was living with us, and he'd be like, "So what's going on with you and dad? Dad says that you're mad." And I'm like, "How would your dad know? He hasn't talked to me." He's projecting that I'm mad. Maybe I'm just wanting him to come to me and talk. So there was a lot of that he would project things, and he still does. Like, he'll say, "Oh," like, one of the things he'll be like, "Oh, you're being bitchy," or whatever, and I'm like, "Dude, you're actually the bigger bitch of the 2 of us. You just hide it behind a smile, but I have resting bitch face, so I look like the bitch." So it's been a lot, I mean, and I
I am
feel for him
off.
because
Yeah.
he would like to just skate through and let's just pretend
Yeah.
that there aren't emotions tied to shit.
And I find that I'll be in the car and I put an earbud in because I don't always know how to explain it in a way that that is understood by Jimmy.
Mhm,
Like, okay, we're in the middle of having an experience, like a physical real life experience. And
mhm,
I got a feeling this ain't the right direction. It ain't the right direction. And I
mhm,
know I don't jump now. I used to be a jumper. I just jump into a different way, right? I'm just jumping
mhm,
this way because that's the way it feels right to me or whatever. And now I'm much more measured. I wait. I say things like, open that door so wide. And then I wait and see if it's
mhm,
opened. And then when it gets opened, I'm gonna say something that is like, I think that we're going about this in the physical right way, but
mhm,
energetically, what I'm hearing is this is not the way we should be going. Well, that other way that you're talking about is ridiculous. No, no, I agree. Like as a human, I agree too. I agree that that way
mhm,
seems ridiculous. I agree
yeah,
with you. And also, I really have a strong sense that this isn't the right way to do it.
mhm,
And you know, and so sometimes it's like, "Fuck, I'm not gonna say that out loud." And then if you really and I'll say to spirit, "If you really want me to say that shit out loud, you gotta make it so I almost like
I
because I feel like
stumbled
I
right into
wanna
it.
yeah, I wanna choke it out, not because
Mhm,
I don't believe it, but because I can see around too. I'm looking in the real
mhm,
world. I'm I'm
right,
looking around. I can see that what I feel is the right way to go doesn't look like that in the physical reality. I can see
yeah,
how, whatever. One day, this was last summer, I'm at my
mhm,
sister's. I think something's gonna happen to the house. Oh god. I think something's gonna happen.
mhm,
Do you remember this?
yeah.
And I was like, "Oh god, I don't wanna tell him that. And if something happens to the house, it's fine. I mean, whatever."
Oh, there was a bunch of shit, it seemed
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, we had some
Yeah,
so sometimes I can get a reading on a house, which seems stupid. I mean, whatever. What are you gonna do? I mean,
mhm,
listen, I'm the first one to tell you I think it's nuts. And I really had the sense that there was gonna be some stuff that's happening. So I
mhm,
finally it just it wouldn't let it go. It wouldn't go away. So I texted him one night
mhm,
and I'm like, "Hey, I just want you to know I got a feeling like there's some stuff that might be happening to the house but I want you to know it's okay. I just want you to know that it's fine and I don't want you to worry about it, but I do want you to be prepared." And 2 hours later he texted me and said a tree just came through the window. well, that wasn't what I was expecting it to be, but also, okay, were you okay? And he goes, it is so funny because I was laying on the floor. He lays on the floor a
Mhm,
lot in front of the window. And all of a
mhm.
sudden there was a huge crash, a tree. And this tree doesn't belong coming through the window. The way the trajectory of that tree was in relationship to the window, that's dumb. It
Yeah.
physically it makes no sense. But that's what
Mhm.
happened. And I didn't know it was gonna be a tree that came through the window,
I
but
just knew there's something.
something's gonna happen. And so sometimes I am thankful
Oh.
now that there's been enough experiences, but I often will put an earbud in and be like, "I ain't gonna say that shit out loud." Sometimes that we're
Mhm,
driving in a car, we're coming back from Indianapolis one time, and I had this feeling about his dad, and I was like, "Listen," and I was like, "Please, I don't wanna say that. That sounds like I'm crazy. I don't wanna say that. I don't
mhm,
wanna say that. I don't wanna say that. That sounds like I'm nuts." And finally, it
mhm.
was so heavy. I was like, "Okay, I gotta say this thing, and I know it sounds like I always start off by saying, "Okay, I know this is
I know
gonna
it sounds
sound
crazy.
crazy. I know that this is gonna sound crazy." And then I often too will ask spirit, "Hey, if it's true,
Mhm,
if this is true, like, if this is gonna be true in reality, in our physical reality, then, make it easy for us to see it, like, and or make it easy for us to make the decision that energetically seems like the right decision to be made, instead of the
mhm.
normal human decision that would be made." And it's just, sometimes it does work, but it's
Yeah.
hard to say stuff when you're going and you start to get a sense and you can feel, one of the things when you go through an awakening, you can start to feel some energy, even if that's not what you know it is.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like you can,
Yeah.
and I don't care what
Well,
anybody
and
says.
even when
It
you're not
sounds
going through an
nuts.
awakening, you're always connected.
You
Like,
are always connected.
even if you don't go through a quote unquote awakening, like, you're being guided
You are
your
being
entire
guided.
life.
Yep.
You just don't
You just don't notice it,
you don't know yeah, you just don't notice it. But
but that's what it is.
yeah. But
But
I
it is
feel like
tricky.
it is it's tricky. I think there's some times when I think it was almost easier, life felt a little easier when I wasn't always questioning stuff and I was just
Ugh.
living life. It wasn't as much fun, that's
Mhm.
true, but
Yeah.
because sometimes now I can really like certain things I really do get in my head. Even with this knowledge, there's, where I overthink shit,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially heavy shit.
Yeah. That's why
Mhm.
you really need to have a hobby. If you don't work, you should have a hobby. Something
Yeah.
to do. I mean,
Well, and
should.
I think that's probably
Should,
why I
should.
fucking cleaned all the goddamn time.
Right.
Like,
Like,
I don't know what to do, but let's do
yeah.
this.
Yeah. And
There's
it
always a
does,
floor to clean.
there's always a floor to clean. But it does feel like
Mhm.
it creates some space in your mind,
Yeah.
without you being focused on something in particular.
Mhm.
And when you're around people that don't know or don't can't feel or see or trust
Mhm.
that energy is everything, I'll even my kids, I have to say now sometimes, "I'm not gonna do that." Mel would do that. Mel
Mhm.
actually really wants to do that, but I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do that. I don't I really I know that it sounds bananas, but I don't think that's the right decision. And
Mhm.
and sometimes I'm wrong. Like this tooth. I knew I should not have gotten this tooth fixed last year. Turns out I
Mhm.
shouldn't have gotten the tooth fixed. I should have gotten it pulled. And now I'm still numb. And I look back at that experience and it's because I didn't listen. And that's fine.
Right.
It's just a
Yeah.
tooth. It's not the end of the world, whatever, it'll be fine. But it is, when I'm not listening, shit
Mhm.
tends to get wrong or unpleasant real fucking quick. And
Mhm.
so, but when you're telling people, and then some people I don't tell and I just do it and I suffer the consequences because I know that they don't
Mhm.
I don't want to,
There's some people that are not open.
they're
Like,
not open. I
there's
don't want to always sound like I'm crazy.
yeah.
I mean, I don't want to always say like, well, I don't know. I kind of feel like spirit's trying to say this.
Mhm.
They're like, what the fuck? Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I don't have those friends, but I wouldn't have many. Well, mostly people. But it's hard. It is
Mhm.
tricky, and when it's your person, it's your human adult person or your family. It is. My sister knows I can read energy, but she thinks it's of the devil.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I
That's
mean,
stuff she's been taught to. Mhm.
I I've been honest. I don't
You're
wanna.
like, "Well, I did say I was gonna go with the 666, so
Yeah, I did
that's
say I
cool."
was not definitely not gonna get beheaded. I really that didn't feel right to me actually in that moment. Still doesn't actually, and, you do you. I got no judgment on that. I think that we're all just
Yeah,
trying to get along. But
yeah.
there are some people who I saw someone at the store the other day, and she's like, "Oh, what are you doing now? The pizza shop's closed and blah, blah." I'm like, "Well, actually, I kinda do some of these energy readings." I went called psychic, and she clammed right up and said,
Mhm.
"Oh, I gotta get going." "Alright, great." I mean,
You're like, "Cool, you
you
weren't
know
ready for it."
you obviously and I'm not gonna lie, and I don't wanna lie anymore, right? Like, I don't wanna be a
Mhm,
person that lies about myself anymore you know, to pretend to make you feel more comfortable. I don't intend to make people feel uncomfortable, but
mhm.
I used to try to push it on Jimmy, but I don't do that anymore. Like,
I
that's not
think Tony still feels like I push it on him,
yeah,
especially, like, him going through his health stuff.
yeah,
I do, and then he gets mad because then he's like, "Oh, and so I brought all this, like and, like, this is really what I want, and da 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 da," and so I've let it go, like, it isn't helpful, any of it, and I guess there's something here for us both to learn, and I guess we're gonna fucking learn it, god damn it.
yeah, you're gonna feel it, and it's gonna be yeah, it's gonna be what it is,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
you don't want the time this time right now to be just you trying to hammer something down his throat and him resisting it, and
No, because it's yeah, because
that's
it's not
torture.
worth it, and, but I will say, 'cause ending on the last thing, I mean, I have done and you're saying, "No, you've been doing a ton of fucking crying all this time," but this last year has been just a ton of crying, it's been working through a lot of stuff, and I will say, as much as I think it annoys the ever-loving fuck out of him in some aspects, he is very supportive and willing to listen, and then sometimes I'm like, "Well, maybe," because then I wanna be like, "Well, and maybe you have some stuff that you need to work through." And you know what? I know that it looks really hard and awful because I'm always crying, but at a certain point, you're no longer crying and you're just like, "Okay."
Mhm.
And it is what it is. Or you cry, but it isn't like when you're first, like, realize something and you're bawling and it hurts, like, physically
Hurts.
hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
do know.
then but as you, like, keep going through the process, you're still crying, but it doesn't have
Yeah, the feeling of it
that
isn't there, it's
hurt.
dissipated. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, "So it does get better."
It does get better, hun. Hun, just try. What do I need to do to make you feel so bad you just start bawling? Like, how could we elicit some of that in you? Like, how about
Well, because
what
I'm
should we
like, there's no
try?
fucking way, like, that your child like, you didn't pick up any bullshit in your childhood. No matter the best life of somebody, you're picking up shit. Like,
Yeah.
you're always picking up stuff. You're picking up energy, or something happens to you and you try and stuff it down, and eventually the bitch does surface.
Well, I'm gonna say from Jimmy, for all the
Mhm.
years that I have thought in real life, and I've told you a million times,
Mhm.
I am sure Jimmy is really holding us back. I am very spiritually aware. I mean, I am definitely on my way to enlightenment. I mean, I am really there. I know everything. I mean, there were how many
Mhm,
years that I
mhm,
really like my
mhm,
ego was so
mhm.
ginormous.
Yeah.
God, it's so big. Anyway, but and
Well, and the
I
thing
really
is that your energy comes at it like, "And I fucking know, and I am right,
yeah,
and
it is
you
really
are
hard for
wrong."
me. Yeah, I
Mhm,
am now I feel like I don't know anything and I'm wrong. I'm always saying,
mhm,
"It's possible I'm wrong." Chances are I'm probably wrong. Like, even in the middle of a
mhm.
reading, "Oh, I'm probably really wrong." Like, and
My thing
also
is always, "And I don't know."
and I
I'll,
don't
like,
know.
go through a whole thing I'm working through, and then I'm like, "And I don't know." Like, that's just as far as my brain can go, and it could be totally
Yeah.
fucking off.
Yep. I
Mhm,
can't grasp more than this, but for all the years that I have thought that, and then when we realize we can read energy, and
mhm,
then we go and we do a reading on Jimmy. Do you remember this?
mhm.
Listen, my friends, I'm gonna whisper it to that
He's
man that I love.
exactly where he's supposed to
Oh
be.
my god, how annoying! I mean, oh my god, in all the ways I've been so When they said that the first time, I'm sure that's wrong. That's the only time I really thought I
Mhm.
was right now. Like, I was losing a bit of my ego enough to think that I'm probably wrong often, and all of a sudden
Right.
there, I was like, "No, I'm definitely right. I'm sure they're wrong on that one. He is definitely not where he is meant to be. I am quite confident that that motherfucker needs to go deep."
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I even now, every now and then he'll get on my nerves so bad because his purpose in life is to be
Mhm.
stability. He is as stable as a fucking rock, which
Yeah.
is really it has its own challenges. And
Mhm.
sometimes I'm like, "Do you think you brought in too much?" Like, I'll be asking energy, like, "Do you think you brought in too much?" "No." "Oh my god. Are you sure?" I'm sure he definitely brought in too much. Like, are
Mhm.
you sure he needs to like, this man, he balances our checkbook, like, balances it. Like,
Mhm.
do you know anyone that gets out there, like, balances their checkbook that's our age? Like,
No,
that's
because
middle
I
age?
just
No one.
I used to when we actually had a checkbook before
Yeah,
the apps and all that
right.
shit. But
He
yeah, no.
yeah, he
Mm-mm.
gets online, he's got our one of his really old phones, one of our first phones, and he uses it, he's got
Mhm.
a checkbook app on there, a balancing
Mhm. It's like his
registry, and he does
calculator.
I mean, and he's got his and it is so and so I'll say to Spirit, like, "Do you think maybe he could loosen up?" I've thought for all of our years, really
Mhm.
needs to loosen up. That man needs to loosen up.
Mhm.
Like, hon, the joke has been, "I'm gonna die on a Wednesday," he's still gonna grocery shop on Thursday. I mean, and when I've said that out loud to him, he's like, "But we still have to eat." Like, that is he really
Mhm.
it really
Mm.
is not he's like, "I'd be sad, right? I definitely wouldn't be buying your chips because"
Right.
I'm like, "Oh my
Now I don't have
god,
to.
like, you'd stop buying my chips right away? Well, you'd be dead. Oh my god.
Mhm.
Okay, okay." And I have thought for all the years, that man really needs to get some he needs to dig in a little. No,
Mhm.
he is
Mhm.
every time. The only thing that he does that they say is
Mhm.
unnecessary, right? There's no shoulds, no, needs. It's just he worries. He's a worrier.
Mhm.
And I'm like, "Is that worrying bringing us down? Like, are we manifesting more things to be worried about?" Like, and then I wanna
Yes,
go there,
yes,
right? And they're
yes.
like,
Mhm.
"No, he's fine. It's fine. Like, you
Yeah.
listen to me, my
You
friend.
need to chill the fuck out.
If we got someone that is fucking running a hammer through your lives, that would
Mhm.
be you."
Mhm.
"God, are you sure?" Like, look at him like, "Mm."
Yeah.
And it is funny because throughout all of this, that man has stayed exactly the same.
Yeah. No, that's
Mel
true.
has gone from mountaintop to valley bottom to mountaintop to valley bottom to
Mhm.
mountaintop to everywhere in between, and Mel is
Now you're in the middle.
finally yeah, I don't
In
you
between.
know, I'm finally just it's pretty good, but it
Mhm.
I was the rocky roller coaster. I
Yeah.
really and but once I learned what his purpose was, I wouldn't
Yeah,
say it
it's
made
easier
it
to accept.
yeah, I was able to be like, "Oh, that's just his stability talking," and God help
Yeah.
us, thank you, Spirit, so much for giving me a man with so much stability because
Mhm.
if I had someone else, I don't even know. We wouldn't be a like, who knows what we'd be doing. We'd be
Yeah.
mething in a crack house with some
Yeah.
I I'd be thinking Spirit brought me meth to bring me who the fuck knows? I mean, really, let's
Mhm.
face it. I really
Well,
don't
like
know, and I appreciate
Tony
now.
he's a Libra, and so they naturally don't like confrontations.
Yeah.
And so and I've always noticed it, but it's really become apparent, like, he'll go along with you because he doesn't want like, he really does not I think that's why we'd go weeks without talking, because then he would have to right? Like, I just want us to be happy, like, I don't wanna whatever. So, Macy, like, our daughter will be like, "Well, I want this," and he's like, "Oh, you do? Okay, yeah, I really like that too," and I'm like, "What the fuck? You don't?
You don't
Like,
want a
can you
bunny.
just" no, right. But he's like, "But I do want the bunny." Okay, but, Jesus Christ, that's why he probably never told her no, because we had so many goddamn guinea pigs, we eventually had a rabbit, we had a hamster. I mean, my god, I got a job finally, and all the money went to all these fucking rodents, and I'm just like, I I started working so that we'd have extra, like, and you're spending any extra that's coming in, so it's like, what's the fucking
What
point?
is the point?
But I've noticed that more, so I've been calling him out more, like, "I wanna know what you actually like."
Yeah.
Like, I wanna know, like, if you don't wanna do a thing, then tell me. Like, don't or her, like, if she wants to go somewhere and you don't, can you please say it? Like, we wanna know who you are, not
Yeah.
who you can spawn into to meet everyone else's desires. And it could be ugly, I don't know.
I don't know, but
But
I'm telling you, if Tony and I were married,
oh my god, you guys are too much alike, and yeah, it would be a fucking disaster, Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Yeah, that would be brutal for everyone involved. Uh-huh.
we could be a one of those dark sitcoms.
Yes, 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 yes. Uh-huh.
Because if he's
That might
always
actually bring out his, like, what he actually likes.
right, because if
Like, because it would be this
he
battle.
right, yeah, yeah, like, if he really is gonna go with whatever, and my idea
Mhm,
Jimmy'll be like, "What are you talking about?" I'll be like, "You know,
mhm,
my way's the right way too," and he'd be like, "Okay."
mhm,
Maybe
mhm,
not in
mhm.
this instance, like, anyway,
But
but
it is funny. Tony used to not be like that. Like we were talking about, because he would get into kicks and it would
yeah,
like take over his life. Like he had a thing at work. Remember
Mountain Dew caps.
insurance was trying to push being healthy, and so then at work, they had the step thing, and he would go to fucking town, and we were talking about it the other day, and he said the Y wouldn't open up, and so then I would go to the middle school that was by the house, and I would do laps, and then I would walk over to the Y, and then I would get on the treadmill, and then he's like, "Well, why don't I just start walking to work? It's
Yeah,
7
I remember that.
miles."
7 miles.
Yeah. Yep. And so then he was doing that, like, and then he would disappear. Like, it would be like 10 o'clock at night. Where's your dad? Nobody knows. He's at the fucking school walking so he could get more steps. I mean, and so then eventually, because it became such a problem, he threw it away. And his one friend at
His
work was
step
like, "Oh my
counter.
God, don't do that. Don't do that. Get that thing out of there." And I'm like, "Oh my God, if he knew how fucking nuts you were, he'd probably be like, yeah, you should probably throw it away."
I
But he would
remember
do stuff
the
like that.
Pop Tops.
Oh yeah, he would dig into garbage bins to find them so that he could get these prizes. It was Mountain Dew caps or something. Jesus Christ.
He bought
But
a
I don't
fridge
like. I'm
for his
trying.
cup. He bought a fridge for his
Yeah,
cubicle.
yes, and then he loaded it with drinks for people to buy. Yes, 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 yes. Like, he had so many. Yes, it's such fun stories, but at the time, you're just like, "Jesus Christ, you're nuts." But at some point, though, something switched where he doesn't like, the whole thing of not wanting confrontation and just wanting everything to be, what is it, copacetic or
Yeah,
whatever?
even Steven,
Like
I always think.
yeah, has really taken over, which I find interesting. But
Yeah,
anyway, so
dig into that a little bit.
yeah.
Well, we're not dead yet.
He's like, "Fuck," he's like, "Fucking stop digging. I'm tired of you digging
I'm
and
tired of
looking at
digging.
me.
I know.
I'm tired of you digging into
I'm
me, and I
tired
just
of being
wanna
the only
be."
one in a husband-wife relationship that needs to dig. Jimmy's like, "I don't know why
Mhm,
you're spending all your time digging. I'm gonna go for a bike ride." Right? Like, "I'm gonna watch a show."
mhm.
I'm like, "I think
Yeah, yeah,
really we
yeah,
should be meditating together." And he's like, "Well,
yeah.
alright, I meditate all the time." I do think in Jimmy's brain it is empty. Not empty, it's not, like, turned off, but he doesn't think.
Tony
He
does go and meditate, yeah.
he doesn't Jimmy's life is meditation. Like,
Mhm.
he only thinks necessary thoughts.
Well, and
Other than when
he
he
and Tony
worries,
are very
because he does
much
sometimes will get on
yeah,
a worry kick, but in general, he doesn't listen to music. He doesn't need to. He's like,
yeah.
"I don't know. My brain's good. I got nothing in there." Like, he's just I don't understand because mine's not like that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah. He's like when
No.
I was trying to help
Yeah,
him meditate one time, he's like, "So this is what we do? Like, my brain's empty. I don't have a lot of
all the
thoughts
time.
anyway." It's like, "What are you
Mhm,
talking about?" He's like, "What
mhm.
do you think about all the time?" Oh my god, everything.
It's
I
the
think
shit is
about
endless.
everything. He's like, "I don't think
Yeah.
about anything." And so when we were practicing meditating, I was like, "Oh, I don't even wanna fucking try and meditate with you. I'm over here, asking spirit to help,
Trying to quiet my thoughts.
sit or sit in the chaos, right? Be like, "Well, there's just
Mhm.
chaos here today. It's fine." And he's over
Yeah.
there starting to meditate, falls asleep because he's his whole fucking
That's
day
what
is a
Tony does.
meditation.
Yeah. Tony goes out to his car at work, and, that's what he does is he just shuts like, that's why he likes YouTube because it just
Yeah.
kinda shuts him down. Like, he can sit okay, so we're at this appointment, and we're in the lobby, there's people all around us. I look over, the bitch is asleep. I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, I'm his dad can do this shit too, but I'm like, I've never met anyone that could just fucking sit down, close their eyes, and then be snoring. Like, I don't get it. Like, is
Well,
there
Jimmy
nothing?
could.
Like, maybe you don't have anything happening, like, when
Yeah,
we're in a 5-hour car ride.
yeah, I
I
think
find
Jimmy
it
doesn't.
fucking unreal.
Yeah, we can drive somewhere with no music, no Audible, no nothing, and I got a thing in my ear because
I
I
need
like
something.
thinking about something, and
Yeah,
he's I'm like, "What are you thinking about?"
yeah,
"Nothing." "No, no, I mean, like, really, what are you thinking about?" He's like, "There's nothing
yeah.
going on in my brain right now at all. Just the road. I'm just on the road. We're driving. I
Mhm.
don't wanna miss my exit, and so I'm just."
Right.
What? Who just drives? I mean,
Yeah.
when he read the book by Eckhart Tolle about presents and stuff, he's like, "Oh, I do this all the
Yep.
time." What are you saying?
Right, right.
What do you mean you're present all
Like,
the
okay,
time?
so we really have to figure out a time for us to do this together so that we can really question them because I can't even like, I feel like Tony is holding out on me and telling me anything. It feels like I'm the only one that ever fucking talks, and he's just there to
Nod. Nod.
yeah,
Yeah,
as he
nod.
is even though his eyes are open, he's
He's
actually
sleeping.
asleep.
He's mastered the
Because
art of
I
sleeping
just
with his
can't
eyes
believe that
open.
that's true. I can't
No,
believe
I know,
that's
I don't under
true.
but I do for Jimmy, I know it's true only because when we were talking about trying to meditate, he's like, "I don't know, I do this all the time." Oh my god. I mean, he goes for
Yeah,
runs with nothing. He's
yeah.
just I'm like, "What do you do when you're running?" He goes,
He's in the zone.
"I'm
I'm in the
listening to my
zone.
feet. I listen to my breathing." What? Like,
Yeah,
the whole time? Well, yeah.
yeah.
What do you do? Oh my god. I'm in here, I
Well,
got
it ain't that.
it ain't that, like, mine ain't that. That is not how mine does. Mine
No.
is not the same. So I do think that there are people, and I really do
I'd like
believe
to hook him
Jimmy
up
is
to
one
a
of
thing.
them. I know, what are your
I would
brainwaves like? I'm like I did say one time, like, I wonder if you're like I don't know enough about this to know, but, like, are you like beta, theta, like, all those brainwaves? I bet you're just like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're probably there. Your brainwave is probably like,
Yeah,
"Do, do, 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 do," like, barely moving.
yeah,
Like, it's like,
yeah.
I don't
I
are
do
we
remember when we first like, when Tony and I were first together and he would come over to the Pawpaw house, he would do the laying on the
yeah,
floor,
just lays down and
and
sleeping.
he would be asleep,
Yeah, it's fine.
and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
And
Like,
then he
it's a
was like
process
20.
for me. Yeah. I'm like, I don't get it.
I got
It
nothing.
takes me
That is
sometimes a little bit of time to get to
where's my
sleep.
jar of melatonin? I mean, I have to
No shit.
meditate myself to sleep or meditate or medicate myself to sleep, one of the
Well, and
2.
so then that's where then there is a area that I'm kinda because Tony will do the melatonin sometimes, and so obviously there are some thoughts going in his head.
Jimmy took melatonin one time.
Mhm. Did it
He
drug
didn't
him?
wake up the next day. This man wakes up. He has to be to work at 6, so he wakes up about 4:20
Yeah.
every day. He didn't wake up till 10 a.m.
What
He's
the
like, "What
fuck?
kind of drug was that?" It was a 3 milligram melatonin. I'm taking like 12. I'm like, "What are you talking about? You had 1. I gave you 1 melatonin gummy.
Mhm.
1.
There are some, I guess, that are really fucking potent. Like,
These are
Tony is
potent
like,
because
"You only do a half of these."
I take 6 milligrams of this. I was looking for it to find the jar
Are
of
they
melatonin that I
gummies? I
take.
don't know why everything is turned into a goddamn
I
gummy.
know. This is what I take. I take Nordic Natural Zero Sugar Melatonin Gummies. One of them, oh my god, it's even less than I thought. It's 1.5 milligram melatonin per gummy, and I take 2. He took
Mhm,
1. I thought it was 3. He took 1. He
mhm.
slept the next day till 10 a.m. That man gets up every day
Yeah.
by oh my god, if he sleeps until 7, the world is obviously falling down. Like, that doesn't
Right,
like,
right,
that's not
right.
normal. But he took 1.5 milligram. These are pretty good. You get them off the Amazon, whatever. But anyway, but they
Mhm.
are really good. I have found that these, for me, have been the best. And everyone's got their
Uh-huh.
own whatevers, blah, 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 blah. But it
Yeah,
is
I don't
pretty
take
incredible
one.
that that man, he Yeah, it is he's bananas in his
Mhm.
ability, but I also think it's bananas that I really thought that he was holding our life up when he's the only one that's
Yeah,
about to
yeah,
depend on any
yeah.
kind of even Steven Street, just
Mhm.
life's good
Yeah,
now.
but you didn't nothing really came out about any of that stuff, like him being the base and all that stuff for, like, what, like, a year and a half, 2
Yeah, it took
years?
a long
He
time.
didn't really even know.
No, we didn't know
Yeah.
until just recently that that was his
Yeah.
partly because I had a hard time when you read someone's energy that
Your
you're close
own
to,
yeah.
it's hard to
Yep.
differentiate, and it's really hard to know that it's clear and whatever, but
Yep.
so at first, it was just a lot of little clues, and then it was finally like, "Well, he's the base, he's stability." "What do you mean?"
Mm.
And then it's like,
Well, and
I've
that's
always
it
been like, "Well, you
too.
should change jobs, and you should move up the ladder," and he's like,
Yeah.
"I'm fine where I am, I don't know what your problem is." Like, "I'm good."
Mhm.
I'm like, "Good, how can you be satisfied there? Don't you wanna be satisfied?" "I
Right.
am satisfied." Well, that's
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah. I
I
know, cause like, Tony is, like, always blown away that he's still at
28
Summit,
years,
but it's
same
because Tony's
Tony's
we've
not
moved so
stability. Yeah,
much.
that's not his
Yeah.
yeah, that's not and
That ain't his thing.
no. But when you do know your purpose and you know your
Mhm.
partner's purpose, it doesn't make it, excuse me, easier, but it does make it more understanding. I don't I don't
Mhm.
question now why he needs to go grocery shopping and he does his
Mhm.
list. Like, right? Like now I don't question it. It just
Yeah.
is what it is, right? That
Mhm.
does bring him to that basis of stability where it feels good to
Right.
him to have this.
Well, and that's, like, with
Don't throw
finding
some
out
shit on him at
Tony's
the last
thing
minute.
is work, right?
Yeah.
Is work,
Yeah.
and he likes to pretend that, like, "I don't wanna work, I wanna be retired," and all of these things. Bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm calling bullshit. You
Yeah.
fucking love it. Just
Yeah.
admit it,
Right.
and
He
that's
does love it.
fine. He loves it.
Yeah.
He
He does.
fucking loves it. I'm like, "Can you come home before 7?
Yeah.
Like, do you have to give them all your time? Because I want some of your time."
I know, but maybe you could make
He's
me
like,
a job. Mm, my
"Yeah,
next job will
yeah."
be walking home 7 miles
Now it would be almost 40.
with my bag of Mountain Dew can tops so I can get myself a mini fridge so I can buy Mountain Dew and put it in there, make everyone give
Now
me
you
their
just
Mountain
have
Dew
to scan a
tops.
code.
Anyway, that's good. Well, if
Mm,
you're out there and you are, having this and your partner's not, you're not alone. It is tricky, but also, you
yeah,
know, it's there and it's
and
doable.
it can be annoying.
Oh God, Lord, give me grace for both
Mhm.
of you. I'm sure they're
Yeah,
annoyed too. I wonder
I'm
if Jimmy
sure.
would even say he's annoyed by me out loud. I don't know that he would ever get
Oh,
on here and do this because it's not his jam.
yeah.
But if he did, I wonder if he'd even say it. Not even because just because it's so that might rock a
You would
boat.
say it for him. You'd be
I
like,
would yeah, I would have
"I
to say
know
it
that
for him
I
and
get
he
on your
might
fucking
nod.
nerves."
Right. Maybe he would nod, but he doesn't
Mhm.
like a rocky boat, right? He has stability. That's his
Yeah,
purpose, is
yeah.
stability, and he likes it in every aspect.
Mhm.
I used to call him our Labrador, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
he's as loyal as a lab, that man, right? Like, he will
Mhm.
and thank
Yeah.
God, because boy, did I need someone loyal when I was going through my nonsense. Holy Christ. One time he did tell me we were on our honeymoon, and he said, "If I were normal right now, I would have kicked you out of the car."
That's so
That is so
funny. That had to have taken a lot to say that.
he was so mad, he was so mad, he was so
Mhm.
mad. With reason. That's a long story for another time, but God, that was
But
so great.
was he annoyed with his mom tagging along?
Where? Everywhere?
Didn't she go along with the whole on your honeymoon? Didn't she try
She
and tag along, or did she
she
tag
did
along?
try to tag along. She did. She wanted to give us a honeymoon as long as we stayed in her hotel room. She told us we could have relations when she was out
Yeah, yeah.
sightseeing during the day. Did he have a problem with that?
Relations. Jesus.
Yeah. No, he
Yeah.
wouldn't have had an issue. Not
Mhm.
just because, that's just who he is. Like, it would have been like, "Well,
Yeah.
that's fine." Like, his whole life is
Yeah.
like that. Like, "Well, it's fine." Like, I don't know. Like, he you know,
Which I'm always like,
he
"Really?" I mean,
and I'm
and I
like,
get it. I
"What?"
get what his thing is, but are you like, "Really? You'd be okay with that?
He would
What is
because
happening?"
it's fine. And here's
Mhm.
the thing, it probably is fine. Who cares? But for
Mhm.
him, it's like
Yeah.
just he doesn't have whatever that is for me, for sure.
Mhm.
It's just he
I do think
likes
it's funny though
even
when you've
Steven.
said he's gotten, like, because 'cause there's been issues with the soccer coaches or something,
Yeah. Oh,
and
there
he's
were
been
a couple
annoyed
of
with.
times. Yep. There were a
Yeah,
couple
that's pretty
times
big for him.
that he said something out loud, and he said one time, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh my god, that was the sexiest thing I've ever seen in my life. I thought you were gonna fight that guy. Oh my god." Anyway,
Yeah.
and you know what he would say? He would say, "I'm totally exaggerating it. It was not like that."
Mhm,
Like,
mhm,
but because he said something almost aggressive or almost
mhm,
with some
mhm. You're like, "Oh,
fire
thank
behind his
God."
belly, it was like,
Yeah.
"What?" I just wanted to point at him and have everyone else look at him like, "Look at that guy over
Yeah.
there." Anyway, yeah, he
Mhm,
does that's just not his way. It isn't his way.
mhm.
And how lovely when you've got fire like me. Like,
Oh, yeah. If you
you
2
know,
were both fiery, fuck off.
when when we owned the pizza shop, there was a time I just love doing humaning things, and this guy used to come in, and he would always try to stand real
Mhm,
close to me. And so I would stand like, I'd just stay there and let him inch closer and inch closer. I'm not of a
mhm.
generation that didn't never made me feel intimidated or out of sorts, or I was always just curious, like, "I wonder why you keep getting close to me. Like, that's funny. I wonder
Right.
how close you're gonna get." And
Mhm.
Molly one time was like, "Dad, this guy's kinda getting up in mom's business," and he's in the back, "Your mom can take care of herself."
And that
That
is
is so
true.
that is so I
Mhm.
mean, maybe not in every circumstance, but it is mostly true that don't worry about her. She ain't gonna let nobody do
She's got it
nothing that ain't
covered.
I know. It is like, as
Mhm,
a matter of fact, she's he's probably thinking she's probably up to some scheme in her head right now that
mhm,
is egging
mhm.
that shit on, which I totally
Yeah.
was. I was like, "Ooh, I wonder how close she'll get her." I mean, the Y and that lady, some people would always be naked in the locker room, and she was a close talker, and I thought, "God, how close she gonna get?" And I'm waiting until
Right.
she gets closer and closer and, like, I thought, "Are your nipples gonna touch my belly? Like, what is going on?" Like, I was like,
Jesus Christ, what were they, droopy?
"Yeah,
Droopy
we
drawers?
call her Droopy Booby Susie." Droopy Booby I love human nature. It's so hysterical to me. I'm like, "I don't know. I'll keep standing here till" I didn't move, but I did think,
Mhm.
"God, how close you gonna get?" Right? Like, "How close we gonna get here,
Right.
Droopy Booby Susie?" 'Cause I'm
Mhm,
down
mhm.
for it. Like, whatever. Look at I like the fun of this. This is something that's not it doesn't happen all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
this
Yeah.
isn't a common occurrence. So the one day that it did, I thought, "Wow, this is really fun." Like, I
Mhm,
anyway, yep, that's Mel, and Jimmy would have thank God he wasn't in there. He has to walk away sometimes when I turn into Mel, like, literally.
mhm.
He holds up his puts his fingers like
Too
a V,
much. It's too much. Yeah.
and he calls it VD,
Peace, baby.
verbal diarrhea. VD, Mel, VD. And he's walking away. He's got shopping to do, like,
Yeah.
we have a time schedule
I'll
here.
look you up at the end.
Anyway.
Mhm.
Alright, well, this was fun. I hope everyone else enjoyed it. I don't even know forgot for a while that
I don't even know what we were really
I
talking
don't
about,
know,
but
but that was a good time.
yeah.
Alright, we'll see y'all on the next
Alright.
side. Alright, Annie.
Alright.
See you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.